Okay, we're live.
Today the 7th? Already? I think you're right. Let me see.
Well, let's see. 8 and 7 is 15. Yeah, 14. Tim's break is at 14.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh, I'm a week off. Good.
So who besides me was up at the old 4 a.m. today? Right?
The old 4 a.m.
The new 5 a.m. at 5 a.m. and 4 a.m. is the old 4 a.m. The fun part is going to be trying to stay up, or that I get to go to bed early tonight. And I can actually climb in bed when I usually like to climb in bed.
Yeah, and it's dark soon.
It'll be dark. No, it'll be lighter. Oh, I don't know what it'll be doing.
It's dark this morning.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome to Unity of Ukaipa. I so appreciate you being here an hour early than what you're used to being here. And for our dedicated Quest group, whoa, they were here like an hour before that.
Yeah.
So yay, Quest Sunday School. Yeah, you guys did it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and open. You guys ready?
All right, Unity. Yeah. This is the time we're coming together. We're trying to wake up.
Yes, it is.
This is an interactive song. I hope you feel it. Take a person next to you. Say I love you and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of God. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of God. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. Come together in the name of God, from every walk of life, and every creed and color, it gives you tonight, in honor of the God in each other. Look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. 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 We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together. Come together. Come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together. We come together.
stage. Ready to go some fun? Yeah. I am walking in the light, in the light, in the light. I am walking in the light, in the light of love. In the light, in the light, in the light, in the light. I am walking in the light, in the light of love.
Oh, children. Now, are you guys sure you don't want to go? They're doing Play-Doh. I was tempted myself. Can't I remember to do this? Don't answer that question. Well, good morning. Good morning. And welcome to Unity of Ukaipa. Please silence your cell phone. Please. Do we have any first-time people? Please raise your hand. Great. Fabulous. Welcome, welcome. Inside your packet and in the pew in front of you, you will see a connection card. These are extremely important because it gives a place for you to put your email address. That is how we contact you. We cannot make phone calls to every person. Well, we could, but we're not going to. So, I'm just saying. Also, in the same space, in the pew, you will see this. It's a prayer slip. Please fill one out. Even if you just put your name and thank you, God. This lets us know and lets God know that we at Unity believe in prayer. Because that's what we're all about. Okay. We have a Facebook page. It's called facebook.com. Then there's a little slashy thing. Unity of Ukaipa. If you will look there, you will see our services. You will see the announcements. You will see the book classes. Everything that we do is on that Facebook page. Please check it out. If you miss a service, go back and take a look. It's still there. You can also do it on your cell phone. And I actually learned how to do that. Yay! Yeah! Surprised. Usually I can't turn it on. Okay, let's do what we believe. God is everywhere, present source and creator of all. There is no other enduring power. We are spiritual beings created in God's image. We create our life experiences through our way of thinking and acting. There is power in affirmative prayer, which aligns us more closely with the infinite within. Knowledge of these spiritual principles is not enough. We must live them. And now if you will pick up your hymnal. It's not actually in the book, it's on the cover.
First Unity said this every Sunday.
Blessings for a church. This is God's house. May we who come here not only find out about God, but find God. May there be beauty in this place, but especially may it be a place where men and women become aware of the beauty in themselves. May this be a place of worship. May this be a place of instruction. May this be a place of singing. May this be a place of prayer. But for us who worship and take instruction and sing and pray, may this always be a place of internal stillness where we may listen and hear when God speaks. May whoever ministers here minister in love. May serves here serve pleasantly. May everyone come into this house in expectation and go with thanksgiving. And may anyone who comes needing help go feeling blessed. May this be such a house that Jesus Christ, or any stranger, even one of the least, would feel in it that he was with friends. And now the band is going to play us a really nice little medley.
And this song, I think that many of you know this song. And so if you'd like to just kind of sink into it, please feel free. If you want to sing along, you can do that too. My eyes are open to perceive visions and truths I now believe. Insights reveal a wonderful key, opening doors that set me free. Silently now I meditate, joining with God as we create visions of truth that illustrate spirit divine. My ears are open as I hear voices of love and truth sincere. And as the peace waves fall on my ear, doubt and confusion disappear. Silently now I meditate, joining with God as we create visions of truth that illustrate spirit divine. My heart is open as I praise, all of my senses, all the ways God shares with man, a wonderful kind, treasure and hope of all mankind. Silently now I meditate, joining with God as we create visions of truth that illustrate spirit divine. Spirit divine.
Very, very lovely. Yay. You people do good work. You know that? In case anybody hadn't told you today. Today is Sunday, March the 8th. Today's daily word is time enough. Ha ha ha. Did we get that? That's a little, oh well. I find time enough for all I desire to accomplish, and we get an extra hour of it today. How will I best spend my time and my resources on this beautiful spring day? I begin by remembering my spiritual inheritance, my divine faculties that provide all I need to meet my any opportunity or any challenge that life presents. I also follow the example of Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore. I spring forth with a mighty faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. He's famous for saying that, by the way. I use divine order to prioritize my agenda. My wisdom and understanding show me the most effective way I can complete each task. I use strength and zeal to maintain my energy and enthusiasm. Love keeps me focused on the good my efforts are accomplishing. Through the faculty of elimination, I release whatever I discern is not mine to do. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. Let's say our affirmation. I find time enough for all I desire to accomplish. Yay. Okay, has everybody got it together now? Comfortable? You know what time it is. Hi, dear Wood. And we're all here, and let's stand up. Do a little God stretching. I rise in consciousness. I surrender to spirit. I ground myself. I love myself. I'm sorry. I live from my heart. I live in the flow. For now I know the truth that sets me free. Stay standing, because we're going to sing something.
We're going to sing, girl. We're going to sing.
This is going to be a little loud.
All right.
It goes right. Can you hear my shield? Ready? I am alive. I am alive in this world. In this world. I am alive. I am alive in this world. In this world. This is a place. This is time. Let it shine. Let it shine. I see the joy. I see the joy in this world. In this world. I see the joy. I see the joy in this world. In this world. This is place. This is time. Let it shine. Let it shine. I'm living love every day. 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 And spreading peace along the way. Spreading peace along the way. Right time, right place, right place. Living love every day. That's what we do here at Unity. We live love every day. Or if not, somebody can remind us, right? Oh yeah. This is the time and this is the place. This is place. This is time. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. We are the light. We are the light in this world. In this world. We are the light. We are the light in this world. In this world. This is place. This is time. Let it shine. Let it shine. This is place. This is time. Let it shine. Let it shine. This is place. This is time. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. That was so
Deanna all the time.
All right. I have been asked, just before I get into the message, I have been asked to give a public service announcement.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's a public service announcement. And I'm going to start this service announcement off with the words, don't panic. These are my earbuds. I have to quiet down the sound of the band, right? The minister is wearing earbuds while she's playing in the band. That's a little scary. I've received some messages, and people have asked me, and I know you might be talking about it too, but there's this little thing going on right now in the media, like the coronavirus.
My
Okay.
daughter even mentioned it.
Yeah.
My 6-year-old.
People are talking about the coronavirus. But remember, in our philosophy of unity, we don't want to focus on the problem, right? We want to focus on solutions. We want to focus on the desired outcomes we want to see in our lives. Now, it's true, we don't become more spiritual by denying our body and just pretending we're only a being of light and this body is nothing. So we take practical care of our body. We take the precautions. We wash our hands. Now, face it, we are a group of huggers in this place. We hug, we hold hands, and you know what? We just wash them. We just don't put our fingers in our mouth afterwards, right? Okay. Washing our hands is a good idea. And I learned this years ago when I watched a little toddler at the grocery store. First picking his nose, and then picking up the apples, and then putting his hands in his diapers, and then grabbing the apples. It's like, wash your fruits and vegetables, right? So we do. So we don't become more healthy by focusing on germs and disease. We do our process of denials and affirmations. Okay, this is big in unity. We do the denial, which is not denying there's something going on, but denying there's something outside of us that has power over us. Okay, so, yeah, maybe the media is really spreading all this fear. It's like, okay, fine. Maybe I'm worried about a such and such thing happening, but there's that within me, knows what to do, how to do it. It compels me to act on what it knows. And I'm guided to take the kind of precautions anybody would take. I wash my hands. I do all that stuff. We remember that within our body is a divine program always moving us toward vitality and always toward well-being. Okay, so we just honor that. We give thanks for that. We focus on the life with a capital L that is flowing through us, for us, and as us in every moment, right? We give thanks for that life with a capital L. We give thanks for the cellular programs that are always moving us toward well-being. We give thanks for the divine intelligence that is in this body at work right now. Okay, the same part of your body that recognizes when you have a cut and starts healing the cut, or a broken bone. There's that intelligence is everywhere present in the body, all right? So we focus on the good. We focus on the gifts of our body. We take care of ourselves too. We rest this body. We wash stuff, okay? We don't go totally nuts with that antimicrobial, what is that cream called? That squirt stuff. Yeah, whatever that is. We don't want to go crazy nuts with that, right? We don't have to go crazy nuts with that. Soap and water is really good for us. Okay, so that's the public service announcement. We also have some lovely ladies here, our prayer chaplains, who are willing to pray with you if you feel like you can't get past this concern. Have somebody pray with you. Call Silent Unity. Okay, I will let you know, a lot of you do not know this about me. I am a germaphobe. I am a germaphobe. I am. Whatever thing went around 10 years ago, I got a little emotional and worried about that, right? I will tell you, even though I'm a germaphobe, I am not worried about this at all. And my husband was like, oh, I'm surprised you're not all freaking out about it. And I was like, I am too. I am surprised too. So I also got myself a little, this is a personal air humidifier and shoots out little negative ions. So I took my son to urgent care back in October, and I wore this because there was a whole bunch of sick people in urgent care, right? we get home and I go to take it off and I'm like, I never even turned it on. And I was fine, I didn't get sick or anything. So.
It worked.
You are the placebo. Okay. So now we are going to go into part 6 of our Rainbow series. All right, so we've been doing something called the Rainbow series, and its theme is defying gravity. Now we defy gravity every time we heal an unconscious belief that doesn't serve us. Every time we heal an unconscious belief that doesn't serve us, we release some of the pain and the trauma that we carry around with us. Okay, so defying gravity means we are getting weightlessness into our system, into our energy. Because if we are weighed down by the weight of our past, we are also weighed in how long it takes us to create the good in our lives. Okay, so weight equals weighting. So the whole gravity series is basically about this. Now somebody brought it to my attention last week that I have been taking us on a trip through the chakras, and she says, maybe not everybody knows what those are. Well, the chakra system is basically from India. It's a mystical system, and there are 7 of them according to the ancient teachings. I know there are like new chakras coming up all the time, I guess other teachers say that, but the chakras are the root chakra at the base of the spine, and then we have the sacral, which is just below our belly button. The solar plexus is just above the belly button. The heart is right around the heart. We have the throat, we have the third eye, and then we have the crown. Now, I have been likening these to our stages of development. Okay, when we were little, our stage of development is focused around the root chakra, or our tribal chakra. And then as we grow, we just are going through all of the stages of the chakras. So that's why I talk about the chakras. And I say chakra and chakra back and forth because I was told recently it's really chakra. Don't say chakra. And I'm training myself to say chakra. All right. Now, each of the chakras have a shadow and a grace. A shadow and a grace. So there's a place where we need healing, and it's just showing us where we need the healing. And then the grace is what shines the light. Okay, so that we experience the healing. Now, so far we've gone through the graces, the grace of reverence, seeing the all in all, that God is the all, the everywhere present source of all things that ever were. Then the grace of piety, which is devotion to seeing the sacredness in all things. The grace of understanding, which is honoring ourselves, right? We understand that we don't have to be just like the tribe. Okay, we can have our own path too and be in integrity. Then in the heart, we've got fortitude, because as we're walking this path of life, we're going to be called forth to do some hard things, right? Some things that take a lot of energy or mental fortitude. So fortitude is what gets us through that. Then we go to the throat, which is surrendering personal will to divine will. So we do the right thing. We often know the right thing, but maybe we don't always do the right thing. So the grace of counsel in our throat chakra helps us to do the right thing, even though it may be hard. And so today, we end up in the 6th chakra, the third eye. And it is in this chakra where it governs the mind and the intellect. And so our ability to reason, trust our intuition, it's all like right here. When we are at our best, we use the power of our mind to evaluate what's working in our lives. What beliefs are working and what beliefs aren't working, right? We use our mind, our reasoning mind, to discern, what do I need to let go of, right? What do I need to let go of, and what do I need to embody? And it's here we get that knowing. Okay, we receive inspiration, but here in the third eye is where we know, I just got this inspiration, and this is what it looks like. I like the story of the Buddha, because he received direct revelation. Because his life kind of got turned upside down. He was a prince. His name was Siddhartha. And he spent all of his time in the castle where everything was beautiful, and he didn't know suffering at all. And then one day, he goes outside the castle, and he saw 4 things that changed his life. He saw an old man, he saw a sick person, he saw a corpse, and he saw a man who was obviously living in a state of poverty and all dirty and begging for food, but blissfully happy. He was a holy man, and so he couldn't comprehend these things. He went back to the castle. His parents could not satisfactorily answer these questions for him. He eventually fled the castle. He went in search of spiritual teachers. He listened to their counsel. He did the fasting, but still nothing satisfied him, because within him was the craving in his spiritual DNA to better understand God, to understand the activity of God within him. This is when he found the Bodhi tree, right? Kind of gave up. He's like, I need to learn this. I need to know this now. So he walked around the Bodhi tree 7 times. He sat down, and he vowed he would not get up until he understood suffering. And so it was said that he meditated there 7 times, 7 days. 7 times, 7 days. Then he received enlightenment. Then he understood suffering, and so he became a teacher. Okay, he went forth and became a teacher. Now, he found the light in the darkness. He found that light. But what happens if we get stuck in our shadow? Okay? Every chakra has a shadow. Every chakra. So if we, first of all, we go to our tribal chakra. If we're stuck in the shadow there, what happens is that we felt unaccepted by our tribe. We've been made to feel ashamed because we don't fit in. So we go to the solar or to the sacral. Well, since we were shamed by our tribe, now we're constantly worrying somebody out there is going to do something that's going to make us feel bad about ourselves. So then we move to the solar plexus. Well, we don't have confidence in ourselves because we're too busy worrying about what everybody out here is going to do to wreck our life. Okay, so we don't take responsibility for our life. We're waiting for something out here to fix the life. We go to our heart, but we're in the shadow, so we're stuck in this pain of resentment. We are unforgiving when we are there. So we have no spiritual stamina. We're stuck looking outside of our lives for something to fix us. So when we get to surrender our will to divine will, we'll forget that because we want the guarantee. We don't trust that there's that within us that knows what to do and how to do it and compels us to act on what it knows. So we're going to do the sure thing. We're going to do the easy thing. Okay, yeah, maybe I have a dream to do this thing, but that could take a really long time, and there are no guarantees. And what if it doesn't work out? I'm just going to do this thing right here to bring me my personality, some pleasure and happiness right in this moment. There's no long-term planning when we're in the shadow. Okay, so we're stuck in the shadow. If we're in the shadow of our third eye, we're in the shadow of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're in the shadow of every chakra. Now, the shadow of the third eye is envy. It's envy. Envy makes us irrational. We get super, super, super focused on something outside of ourselves that should be ours. Okay, now this isn't the kind of envy where you might say, I just envy that you can get up at 4 a.m. and meditate every day, right? Because they don't mean that when they say that, right? Okay, I envy that you can, dance, or I envy that you can do this, or I envy that you love working in the garden. It's not that kind of envy. Okay, it is the kind of envy where you look outside your life and you feel so much that something should have been yours, but it's not yours, and so you feel cheated. Okay, that's envy. You feel cheated. And we can envy things that people have. Okay, we can envy their house, their job, their relationships, their career, how much money they make, that they get to take, 12 vacations a year. We can envy all that. And then we'll try to keep up with them. But nothing that we do will ever be enough. Because envy, all of our focus is outside of us. We're taking no notice of the spirit within us, so nothing will ever be good enough. We will envy the power that other people have. Okay, we might envy that they have a gift of inspiring people, or that they can lead people. Okay, maybe they envy Martin Luther King or people like that who made a big difference. One of the people I really admire is Brene Brown. Right? She has really gotten into our culture this idea of authenticity and belonging. And where she's not the first person who's talked about belonging, she's the one who's made the biggest impact. And it's all her. It is all her. But in these days of social media, like I know I go online and I see all kinds of Brene Brown wannabes, all selling the same thing that she is selling, right? Rewriting things that she says and calling it their own. Okay, this is spiritual envy, envying somebody else's gifts and their talents, and then copying them because they feel that should have been their life. They should have gotten on it. Okay, if you've ever tried copying somebody to get their results, you might have been in the and you might notice that it didn't work out for you, right? If we try imitating somebody else, we're not in our own authenticity. We're not paying attention to our own spirit. So things will look really easy for them. It'll feel really hard for us, and we'll think that it's very unfair. Okay, this is one of the parts of envy. Everything feels ridiculously unfair. Okay, ridiculously. But when we're in our shadow, we're not trusting anything coming through us. We're not trusting anything. And we misuse our power of intelligence and reason. Instead, we focus on these dark actions and dark strategies, making up our manifesto, right, on how to get this other person's life. Envy causes us to diminish all the good in our life. No matter how many wonderful things we have going for us, if we envy somebody else, this isn't good enough. If we're envying somebody else, we want what they got. So we don't see all the good that's here. It's so toxic, we won't even notice the opportunities that come our way. Okay, we'll just see, we have tunnel vision when we have envy. This is all we can see through. Yet right here and here and here, there's somebody saying, whoa, I've got this great idea for you. I was thinking about something. We're like, shut up, I'm trying to get a good idea. Trying to get inspired. Stop talking to me about all these great things I can do. Okay, so there's like a cousin to envy. And that cousin to envy is jealousy. Jealousy. Okay, so envy is you want something that's out here. You look at this life and you think, well, I really want that. That's supposed to be mine. Okay, that's envy. Jealousy is, I have this great thing, but this person out here is going to steal it from me, and it won't be mine anymore. So there's the difference, okay? But jealousy or envy, both of these, we're perceiving something outside of us can block our good. Okay, there's something out here that's keeping our good from us, or there's something out here that's going to steal our good from us. So we're in a high state of alert and stress and adrenaline all the time. I used to watch our dogs when we still had our dog Buffy. We had 3 dogs, and our Comet, our golden retriever, could eat the snacks and treats really, really fast. Buffy was busy looking around for them because she couldn't see anything, and the Chihuahua eats everything ultra super slow. And so she's busy eating. She slows down her eating because she's looking at the other dogs watching her, and they're staring at her, and they want her food, and she's like, look, I got this food, and I'm eating it really slow. She's also growling because she doesn't want them taking her food. Envy and jealousy. A Chihuahua or golden retriever. Okay, but I had somebody ask me, well, what about God being jealous? God said, I'm a jealous God.
Yeah.
Don't have any other gods before me. Great? And that is a story in the Bible, in the book of Exodus, when Jehovah was speaking with Moses, giving him the 10 Commandments. He was giving him a set of rules, right, for his people. But we know in unity that God's not a person. God's not a man. God doesn't have the frailties of humanity. Okay, God's the all. And then everything that we see is an expression of that all. God is the original source, energy of all things. It's just pure love. It's pure givingness. So this is what unity has has to say, okay? The unity, the philosophy. Because God is the supreme being, the absolute, God is a principle from which there may be no deviation. As we keep the law, we reap the reward of spiritual freedom in ourselves. As we fail to keep the law, we reap the effect of that failure in some form of suffering, hardship, or bondage, until such time as we learn to put ourselves in accord with the law again. Okay, so the law is the law. The law is the law. In this story, Jehovah represents the absolute. Absolute. Do it my way, or there will be repercussions. Okay, do it my way. This is the law. Okay, law is law. If you were to go to another country and you're walking around, you don't know about the laws there, but you're a good person, so you're not really worried about it, and you spit your gum on the sidewalk. And maybe you weren't really trying to spit it on the sidewalk, maybe you're trying to spit it into a trash can and you missed. Or maybe you're just excited and talking really fast and you just spit it down, right? Well, in this country, there's a law that you cannot spit your gum on the sidewalk. And so the officer comes to write you a ticket, and you say, "Officer, I didn't know that that was a law." Is he going to tear your ticket up? It's like, "Oh, that's..." No. He's going to be like, "It's the law. Here's your ticket." Even if you say, "But it was an accident," it's the law. The law is the law. Okay, law is the law, whether we know about it or not, or whether we agree with it or not. But this is the law. When we make choices that honor our divine nature and the divine nature in others, we experience spiritual freedom, peace, love, joy. When we make a choice that fails to honor the divine nature in each of us, we experience suffering, bondage, hardship. It's the law. Whether we did it accidentally or not, right? It was an accident. I didn't mean to be negative and fail to honor my divinity. Okay. All right, so in the shadow of this chakra, in being in envy, being in jealousy, we're failing to keep that law because we're constantly focused outside of ourselves, worrying about what is out here, resenting, feeling bitterness. Okay, the law is the law. We're in bondage and blame when we are stuck in this shadow. Now, the grace of the third eye chakra is knowledge. And in its purest form, it manifests through us as a revelation about the nature of the divine. Now, this can be really sacred knowledge. It can be like the experience of gnosis, where we receive the secret mysteries of God. Okay, like Buddha received. Like the poet Rumi. Rumi writes poetry that is about the revealed nature of God, right? The book of Psalms is about the revealed nature of God. Even Ralph Waldo Emerson, he's writing about the revealed nature of God, okay, that secret nature. But this gift of knowledge is not just for poets and spiritual teachers. Revealed knowledge is given to anyone who is a vessel in service to humanity, whether it's a great way or a small way. Just being in service to humanity, making choices that honor our divine nature and the nature of other people, we're in service to humanity. So knowledge, the grace of knowledge, might feel like an aha moment. An aha moment. And we just get clear about knowing something in our own lives. Did you know that the Velcro, the invention of Velcro, that came in an aha moment? The engineer that invented it, he was looking at these thorns stuck on his clothes and on his dog. And he was just like, wow. And Velcro. So a scientist can get a clear knowing about something and make a scientific breakthrough. An athlete can get a clear knowing about something and make a breakthrough that enhances his performance, right? Or his physical abilities. So we can get a clear knowing right here and right now. A clear knowing about, like, what's this way I could expand good in my life right here and right now. That can come as a clear knowing. So it's not just about the spiritual stuff, right? We're here, we're a soul expressing in a body. We're the activity of God in this world. We are here to live a life of abundance and good. Okay, remember Jesus said, I came not just so you'd have life, so you'd have it abundantly. Abundantly. We are meant to expand the good through us. And as much good as we possibly can. There is no limitation on it except how we limit ourselves. Okay, so we are here to expand the good in our life, and that means solutions in our life to the things both big and small. That's part of the experience. Okay, solutions. Now, in the shadow of envy, we're focusing on something that's outside of ourselves. So, even though we may actually receive some divine inspiration, we won't trust it. We won't trust it. We'll think it's wishful thinking, or it's ridiculous, or it's too hard, or somebody else should do it for us. Okay, so with this grace, with the grace of knowledge, we get drawn inward because we are in pursuit of how God expresses through us, for us, as us. Okay, our divine longing is God seeking to know itself through us and a life we create. Okay, through us. So we can't get the answer outside of ourselves. We have to go within. Go within. Seek only the truth. The Apostle Paul talked a little bit about this in the book of Philippians. He said, do nothing out of vanity or arrogance. This is the shadow and the tribal chakra. And if we end up in this shadow, we could end up in every shadow. Okay? So do nothing out of vanity or arrogance. Regard your neighbor with humility. See the sacred in every person. Okay, this is the grace of the second chakra. Don't just worry about your own problems. Don't just focus on your own goals. Have compassion for others. Encourage them. Let them see the possibilities in their life too. Okay, that's from our solar plexus, the grace in our solar plexus. This is us being of service. This is how we are of service. Then he says, let the same mind that was in Christ be also in you. The original translation of this is, reason this within you, which Jesus Christ also reasoned. He's saying that Jesus thought about it. He worked it out. He worked it out. Basically, Paul is saying, have the same attitude as Christ Jesus. See the world as our spiritual teacher. You know, look at your brother as our spiritual teacher looked upon the brother. Love each other as Jesus Christ loved everybody. That's the attitude of Christ, and that's how we have the attitude of Christ. He said this is how we are in one accord, one love, one soul, one mind. That's what we do. We just have to have the same attitude as Christ. So we embody the graces. Okay, we start with the grace of reverence, to see the good, see the sacred in all. Then piety, we are devoted to seeing the sacred in all. Then understanding, seeing the sacred in ourselves. Fortitude, so we can do the hard stuff. Surrendering our will to divine will, the grace of counsel. And we go here to the grace of knowledge. He says, it is God who inspires you with the will to do the good things which you already desire to do. So this is a good thing. This is something you already are desiring to do this. He says, do all things without doubting and disputing. Sometimes when we're stuck in our shadow, we think about something we'd like to create in our lives, but then we think, oh, that's wishful thinking. Who am I to think I could do that? Somebody else out there could do a better job. Where do you think the inspiration came from? All right? Where did that inspiration come from? If the inspiration's coming from God, coming from Spirit, and that means that the means to make that happen will also be available. So you're actually right on target. If you receive a divine inspiration and you have no idea how to make it happen, that's an inspiration from God. Okay, we're not going to get an inspiration that we already know how to do everything. I mean, unless it's like, well, first I'll get my laundry done, and that's not inspiration. That's not really an inspiration. But an inspiration from God will scare us a little. And we're not going to know, like, where do I even start with this? Oh, but I'd really love to do that. That would be amazing. Oh my God, but what am I thinking? That would be so big. Oh my God, but it's like my dream. That's how an inspiration from God is going to feel. Exciting and scary, exciting and scary. Because now we have to rely on that within us that knows what to do, how to do it, and it compels us to act on what it knows. Paul goes on to say, do not worry over things, but with prayer and thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. When we worry about something, we're sending all of our energy out there, to that thing out there, that worry, it's outside of ourselves. We're taking all of our energy from here. We're sending it outside of ourselves. Okay, so don't worry. That's why he says, don't worry about a thing. Instead, with prayer and thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Prayer is aligning ourselves with the Spirit within. It's going through all those graces. Okay, all is sacred. Everything is sacred. That means everything I am in relationship with, even the things I'm worrying about, even the things I love, the people I love, how I step into my life, all of it is sacred. And I am sacred too. God expresses through all things, and that means me too. That's prayer. We align with that. And then we give thanks. We have thanksgiving, because thanksgiving is seeing the desired outcome. Thanksgiving is seeing the thing you want in your life. There's a lot of quantum science that talks about this stuff now, right? If you read Joe Dispenza or Dawson Church, Lynn Taggart, yeah, they're talking about how our thoughts actually shift our energy, so we want to focus on the thing we want to create, not a thing that scares us. It's a quantum science thing now, where Paul knew this thousands of years ago. Jesus knew this. The Buddha knew this. Okay? Because there are people who have experienced gnosis. Okay, a direct revelation from God. They've been experiencing gnosis for thousands of years. But I know, if you're like me, I like science too. I like science to say, yeah, you're right. Okay. So with prayer, we're aligning ourselves with Spirit. With thanksgiving, we're focusing on the good we want to see in our life. Now there's a prayer from the Course in Miracles that I really love. And it's kind of an opening to my day kind of prayer. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. We can approach our life this way when we allow the graces to come forth. We can let our life can actually be led by the Spirit within. Right? God can guide us every step of the way. It's seeking to guide us all the time, always compelling us to make the choice that honors our divine nature and takes us into the next biggest experiences in our life. Okay, so it's always there, it's always available. We can call forth the grace at all times, anytime. All day long we should be calling forth these graces. Okay, especially reverence, seeing the sacredness in all things, because it kind of just triggers the rest of the graces to open up for us and to call them forth. So we come to the grace of divine knowledge. We receive divine knowledge, but it's important to note we are not just getting this knowledge for ourselves, because we're not in a world of self. We're in a world of community. We're in a world of belonging. So we're receiving divine knowledge for ourselves and for others, for other people. Because as we show how we expand the good in our lives, we are revealing to others that this is part of our divine nature. And if we can do it, anybody can do it. Right? That's how we create heaven on earth. That is how we create heaven on earth. We're divinely designed to do this. We are divinely designed to create heaven on earth. So until next time, remember that you are the activity of spirit in a body. You are the heart and the hands of God in this world. You are a soul designed for growth and goodness, and in everything you are blessed, and so it is.
Amen.
All right, we're going to have a short meditation. You want to just breathe in this moment. We'll have Judy turn off the lights for us. Right, so just breathe in. Feel yourself so comfortable in this chair. And imagine right at the center of your heart, there's a golden ball of light. And imagine that a ray of this golden light shines down into the center of the planet, where it meets with the emerald green light and energy of Mother Earth. Mother Earth, the very first energy that greeted you on the day you were born. Together, see this gold and green light shine back up through the planet and back up through your body into your heart center. And feel your heart center expand now till it completely surrounds you. Gets even bigger than this room, bigger than this church, even bigger than this planet. So you find yourself floating in space, looking at this beautiful blue marble that we call home. And in that brilliant, amazing imagination of yours, silently affirm with me now, I am created in the image and likeness of my Creator. I am. I am the activity of spirit in this world. I am. I am a love amplifier. I am. And I am a grace generator. I am. Every day, I call forth the grace of reverence. I see the sacredness in all of life. I feel loving kindness toward all things. I send this grace out before me, and it paves the way with loving kindness. I am devoted to seeing the sacred in all of life. And I remind myself that I am that sacred nature too. I am the activity of God in this world. And I am a soul with stamina. I do the hard things. I do the things that scare me a little, because I trust that is within me, that knows what to do, how to do it, for it compels me to act on what it knows. I surrender my will to divine will. And am thankful for divine direction. I allow my Christ light, my divine nature, to shine forth and shine out. So I am a light for others. I am. I am. Now we'll come back into this room. Come back into our day. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Put a big smile on your face. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. All right. And once you're smiling, I know I got you back here. All right. We're going to have the band come up here, and we're going to do a special song that I really thought was great for this chakra. It's about seeing clearly. Let's see if you guess what that song is yet. And next week, we will be wearing purple. If you want to, join us in our color scheme, we will be going into purple. Okay? Oh, took. Whoops. All right, guys ready?
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Oh yes, I can see it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is a rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Here is the rainbow I've been waiting for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, oh bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, oh bright, sunshiny day.
Was that so much fun? They're so amazing, aren't they? All right, now we will have our lovely ladies come forward. We are going to bless all the good that's happening here and now. All right, so let's say together. Divine love through me now blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. good. I am opening up to the good. To the good that is my life. I am opening up to the joy. I am opening up to the joy. I am opening up to the joy. To the joy that is my life. I am opening. 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 I am opening to the good that is my life. I am opening up to the peace. I am opening up to the peace. I am opening up to the peace. To the peace that is my life. I am opening up to the love. I am opening up to the love. I am opening up to the love. To the love that is my life. I am opening. 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 I am opening to the good that is my life. One more time. I am opening. 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 I am opening to the good that is my life. All right, now we bless the gifts and we bless the giver, knowing that this goes into the world to do great things. And so it is. Amen. Amen. All right, we have some kids back from Sunday school. You guys want to come up here and tell us about what you did today?
Hi, Bella.
Look at the shoes.
All right, what did you do? Anybody? You played with Play-Doh.
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 Does anybody remember the poem that we tried to learn? Starts with love is patient.
Love is patient.
Love is
Kind.
Oh.
That's so beautiful. You know, I have something for you guys. Because you are just doing so much amazing work in this world. Look at this.
Oh.
Are any of these Jurassic World? Well, no, but there is a star. Here you go. They're, you want a green one? Okay, who would like purple? Okay, here's purple. One. Here's there's no yellow. There's a blue. Okay, who wanted the green? All right, and the blue. And then, what color would you like? You can. Okay, I'll let you pick one out first. How about purple? To go with your purse and your pants. All right, here, you want your brother to have an orange one? Okay, yay! All right, so I guess we're going to circle up now and sing our peace song. Okay, we're doing this together, aren't we? Woo. Okay. Yeah, you have a good jump there, Calvin. Okay, I think we need to. There we go. Okay. Okay. All right. We'll let Denise start us off. Ready? Okay.